Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How's it going? I'm Denali. If you're new here, I'm a full-time reseller on eBay and Poshmark, and I wanted to make a video today talking about what's going on right now with my business. So I have been, listing items. I don't have as many to list as of right now because things have just been a little bit crazy given recent circumstances. I have been clearing out my office. If you've been watching any of my daily vlogs, I've been taking my inventory out of my office space that I rented in December of this past year. Just to give a little backstory, I have been reselling full-time for almost 3 years now. I did leave my corporate job, which was working in human resources, to begin a full-time career reselling, which I love. It's such a fun job. And anyways, so I started reselling out of my home. I did that up until December of this past year when I was able to obtain an office space, which was really a dream for me since I started reselling, was to have my own space that I could put my inventory and not worry that it was kind of scattered everywhere in my house. Just for myself, I'm not that organized of a person, and so it just didn't work that well for me having it all in my home. However, in the past couple of weeks, things have been rapidly changing, especially here in my state. I am located in Washington State. We have had a number of cases and unfortunately a number of deaths in my state. And so we recently were put on shelter in place by our governor. And essentially what this means is that unless you have an essential job or role, you should not be leaving your home. And sorry, my dog's going to join me. If you've watched any of my old videos, she seems familiar. So anyways, what this means is that we shouldn't be leaving our homes. And I knew this was coming. That's why I started to take inventory out of my office and bring it home to my garage. However, I have been getting updates from the manager of my building who has, let us know anytime that a change was going to take place in the building. For instance, at one point they were not allowing customers to have free access into the building anymore, which obviously is good. It just limits the amount of maybe unnecessary people that were coming into the building. Unfortunately, that does affect the other business owners in my building who rely on customers as walk-ins. My building manager had told me at one point that there were people giving notice in the building because they felt like, current events were either already or were going to impact the sales or profitability of their business. I had kind of been closely monitoring that for myself. Obviously, I have seen a decline in my sales over the past couple of weeks. And, I hummed and I hawed, hummed and hawed about what I should do in this circumstance. I do pay $600, just an even $600 every month for my office space. One of the reasons that I liked my office space is that it is month to month. And there's no time like the present where that is maybe paid off. And that's something I told myself in the beginning was, since it is month to month, I didn't have some like 2 or 3 year lease, which is the case for some office spaces that I looked at. Luckily, I didn't sign any contracts with them, that I could leave if things ever started to get weird. So I received an email yesterday or the day before from my building manager saying that the landlord or owner of the building was going to allow people to a few different options. One, if they wanted to pay by credit card instead of paying from their bank account, which, we take it, it's all like electronic. No, I pay from my bank account. I was going to say electronic funds transfer. That is an option, but I don't do that. I just pay from my bank account. Anyways, they were going to allow people to start paying by credit card. That didn't really feel like a great option for me. That's essentially just creating debt. If I'm just going to pay it later, which I don't really want to do that. I did reach out to my building manager and ask if there was an option to have the rent discounted in some way. Because essentially right now it's just a shell of an office. It's just holding my storage racks, my desk, and some other small supplies. And unfortunately, that is not an option at this time. And knowing that it's not really serving any purpose for me right now, and with the uncertainty of when things will kind of go back to normal or whatever will be the new normal, I'm not sure that it makes sense for me to continue to pay $600 a month for what's essentially a glorified storage unit. And I could store that stuff in my garage until things go back to normal and I can get an office space again. So this was a hard decision for me because obviously since I started this journey, it has been my dream to get an office space. And to think that now I was going to have to say goodbye to it, especially if you've seen any of my videos where I was moving into my office space or just these past few months and I talk about my office space, how happy I am about it. It's been really sad. And last night I did cry about it because I laughed because I'm nervous about it. I got that nervous laugh. I cried because it was sad and I felt like I was mourning this dream that I had. Now, in the big scheme of things, I know that there are bigger things going on than me and me losing my office space. And I don't think for a second that I don't understand any of that, because I absolutely do. This is just my own little, pity party of one I'm having. And I'll probably be over it in a couple of days or maybe a week, and it'll be fine. And why I know it will be fine is because it's always been fine for me. Anytime that I've made big decisions in my life, it always works out for me. Maybe I'm an optimist in that way, but that's my version of reality, is things always work out for me. Just like this office space, right? It was a big decision to make, to go there and move all of my inventory there. And luckily, I made a really great decision to rent at a place that was month to month. And look how that worked out for me. So the second part to that I'll say is that my building manager did say that they were allowing tenants, although you usually have to give 20 days notice when you're going to leave, they were going to allow people essentially to last minute get out of their leases. And so if you could be out by April 1st, they were going to not make you pay for April. So how could I pass that up? So I talked about it with a few different friends of mine who are also resellers, and I talked about it with my husband. And, while again, I could probably float the place for a month or two, is that really $600 to $1,200 I just want to spend on, again, a place I'm not even going to go to? No, that doesn't seem like a good idea. So, and with so much uncertainty, right? Things are just changing all the time. I don't know what it's going to be like a week from now, and I definitely don't know what it's going to be like a month from now. And my son is out of school for the next month. So again, just thinking about where my priorities need to lie in terms of, being at home here to help him with schoolwork or try and maintain some level of schoolwork during this time. So that's where I'm at. Later on this evening, my husband and I will be going to pick up a U-Haul truck from a local storage unit. The governor of Washington State has given businesses 48 hours to kind of get themselves together. Even though the shelter in place, I think, took effect Monday night, businesses have 48 hours to kind of just make plans, to shut everything down. So we will be picking up the truck tonight and going to the unit and disassembling my shelving units, which is really the most painful part of all of this, is taking down those big shelving units. We did hire movers initially when we moved in. I am not going to do that this time because of the extra expense, and my husband felt confident that we could just get it done between the two of us. For the most part, like I said, everything's taken out, but the shelving units, my desk, my shoes and shoe racks, which that'll be easy. I can just throw the shoes into some IKEA bags, and then the shoe racks are super lightweight. I can just carry that downstairs. My little fridge, I have an IKEA rolling little storage unit, which I can use the elevator for that. yeah, I think that's kind of it. I don't know, it's just like little stuff at this point. So I did get a 10-foot box truck. It's fairly reasonable in price. It's like $20 an hour from U-Haul. I don't think it'll take us more than like 2 hours, hopefully. Wish me luck on that. I still need to go out into the garage today and clear up a space, like the other half of the garage, because I don't know that I'm going to put it all, I may eat my words later, but I don't know that I'm going to put it all back together in the way it was prior to me moving out, because in a perfect world, 4 months from now, 5 months, or maybe sooner, I move back out, ideally back into that building. I would love to be back in that building. I loved being in that space. But it just doesn't make sense right now. So anyways, yeah, and obviously I'm not going to be sourcing any new inventory. So if anything, my inventory is going to be hopefully depleting over the next amount of uncertain time. And it doesn't cause my garage to get too chaotic. However, it's going to look crazy nonetheless. So, so that's my update for today. Not really a vlog, but more of just a little story time on what decisions I'm making for my business. Again, I'm sad about it. I thought I might cry in this video. I'm glad that I didn't. I think I got most of my crying out last night. And I hope you all are doing well. And, let's just get through this time together, being as positive or optimistic as we can, staying in our homes, washing our hands, doing all the things that we are supposed to do in order to stay healthy. But yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.